Good afternoon, everybody, and thank you so much for joining this special webinar that we have hosted today. For those of you that are familiar with what we do here, every 2 weeks or so, we host a webinar where we go through the SalonBridge product, how it works. We'll cover new topics. We will address ways in which to grow your business, how to deal with the ever-changing market, and ways in which that you can use SalonBridge and other integration partners to better manage your salon or spa and grow your business essentially. And today we decided to do something slightly different amidst the current pandemic that is COVID-19, the coronavirus that has swept the world and just changed so many lives for the worse, and is going to forever change the way that we do business and the way that you're going to do business. And what we wanted to do today was to touch on a couple of points. So we're going to do this as somewhat of a two-parter, and it's important to note, starting off, that we do not have all the answers here. I am not an expert on this virus. I don't pretend to be. I am not an expert in your business, although I am an expert in SalonBridge and how we might be able to help. What the hope is out of this, what I hope for you to get out of this, is some sort of way forward for your business, and whether that be in the form of a new way of accepting customers or a new way of doing business moving forward. I think that we're here to help each other, and we're going to try and make this work for everybody. So really what's important to note as a starting off point is I just want to share something with you. So I'm going to share my screen over here. And the latest results for South Africa specifically is that we're sitting on 402 infections. What that basically means is that, so you can see from the first infection, the 5th of March, until the 23rd of March, in less than a month, we have 402 infections. What that also means is that we are averaging a daily increase of 40% of new infections every single day. And that's quite a scary number, because if you plot that forward, it starts to look quite scary. And we have an address tonight from our president, which I have very little doubt will result in something quite significant. It obviously means a lot for your business. And while I can share ways in which to potentially counteract this, it is going to ultimately be up to you to help to basically flatten this curve, to help limit the contact with your customers. In an industry where you deal with customers on a day-to-day basis, it is exceptionally difficult, and we face the real possibility of a lot of salons, a lot of businesses, not only in salons and spas, but in any business that is client-facing, that will ultimately end up losing customers and going out of business. So that is the hope here, is to avoid that for everybody here. That's everybody that's watching this. The hope is to avoid that entirely, and I'd like to cover alternate ways in which you can potentially make money using the tools that we give you today. And some aren't SalonBridge tools, some are third-party tools, but we're gonna cover that. So what I've done is I've also prepared these points. So 12 points of things that you can do as a salon or spa owner to help maintain your customers, to retain business, and to generate revenue throughout this process. One of the things that you have to do with any kind of crisis, especially in something as serious as this, is you have to deal with three scenarios. You have to deal with a best case scenario, you have to deal with a worst case scenario, and then you have to deal with something that is the most probable. And that's normally in between the two. So if we look at a best case scenario, we wake up tomorrow and there are decreased infections, there are 0 to no new cases. It starts to go down because everybody started to self-isolate, and we can slowly but surely resume the normal amount of contact that we were all used to. That is obviously the best case scenario. In the worst case scenario, in the president's speech tonight, he announces a complete country lockdown, except for essential services like grocery stores, pharmacies, healthcare facilities, that sort of thing. And what that means is that any salon or spa would be obligated to close their doors for an indefinite period of time. You could expect that to be a couple of weeks to 2 months, 3 months even, as a worst case scenario. Now, the most probable case is that it's something in between that, meaning that in my thought process, and again, this is recorded on the 23rd of March, we're doing this live. I do not know what the president is going to say tonight. What we can perhaps predict is that there's going to be some kind of significant increase in the amount of social isolation that we're going to need to be able to do, meaning that he's going to want us to dramatically reduce the number of people we see, interactions we have, and that may very well mean a change for your business. So as a business owner, you should be preparing for this. You need to accept the worst case scenario so that if we have a more probable scenario, you are prepared for it, and you are calm, and you deal with this in a way that is professional and just portrays confidence to your clients and your staff, and we can all hopefully get through this together. So the first slide that I have here is to continue communicating daily and show that you're serious about maintaining hygiene and keeping everyone you see safe. Now, based on what happens tonight, you may not be able to see everybody that you would like. You may already notice, and we have seen this in a number of our businesses, that the number of bookings don't seem to be decreasing, but the number of appointments are decreasing, meaning that customers are still booking, but then they're either canceling later on or they're postponing it to a later date. So you are obligated to try and obviously accommodate everybody, and one of the points I have later on touches on how to deal with cancellations and potential suspensions. One of the things that you need to do is communicate daily, and you can do this through a couple channels. You can, for day-to-day communication, I would recommend using your social media channels, platforms like Facebook and Instagram. You need to go onto your platforms. You need to do stories every single day. You need to show your customers that you are serious about hygiene. You're serious about keeping them safe, even if that means delaying their appointment, unfortunately, because what that is ultimately going to mean is that when this passes, and it will pass, we will get through this, and business will return to normal, or some kind of normal, and you will get those customers back, and you need to show them that during this time, you are serious about maintaining hygiene and keeping everybody safe, even if that means canceling their appointment and asking them not to come in, or postponing it until a later date. So day-to-day communication, every day post a story. It can be of yourself. If you're not comfortable with sharing your face on camera, I know that I'm not always comfortable doing that. Show a video of your salon or spa, of your staff cleaning up, of some coming in if they are still able to come in, obviously, but just maintaining that level of professional and cleanliness at all times. The second slide I have here is to have open discussions with your staff and to get their buy-in. Now, I'm not saying that you should run this as a complete democracy. Unfortunately, as much as any business will accept opinions from the staff, a business is a business, and you need to show good leadership skills here. You need to show that you're in control of this, but you need to do so in a responsible way that everybody is in agreement with, and everybody feels safe in doing so. So you need to chat to your staff, understand where their minds are at, understand what their concerns are, what are they scared of, what are they worried about. This affects everybody economically. This affects your staff. They're worried that they are going to wake up tomorrow and they're not going to have a job moving forward. And that's scary. And as a business owner, you and I have that very same fear. We have that fear every single day. The highs and lows of a business owner, of a salon and spa owner, your highs are so high and your lows are so low. I know this. So put yourselves in the shoes of your staff members and remember that they are people too. They want to be safe. They want to come to a working environment where they're not worried about catching something and taking it home to their kids, to their families, and be understanding that your staff have families and they have kids that are now not able to go to school. So they need to be with their kids, and you may need to find that you have to make unconventional changes to your staffing policy on how to cater for additional leave and how to be able to accommodate families in the workplace. Work from home is not always a possibility in this industry, so try and find ways to get everybody on board and to make everybody feel comfortable in the workplace if they are still coming in, and if you guys are still open, obviously. So the next slide I have here is to put up posters regarding hygiene and symptoms of the disease in your salon. I do have a link in the description of this video of the NICD's website where you can go to and find the symptoms, you can find statistics, you can find all the latest information, as well as a contact number, which is toll free. If anybody in your salon, if any of your clients, if you're exhibiting any symptoms, you should contact them. You should not go into the emergency room. You should not go to your GP. You should not go to your hospital. In doing that, if you're showing symptoms, you are going to be infecting those around you. Everybody that's in the ER for a broken arm or a broken leg is now going to be exposed to you. So you need to phone the NICD, you need to tell them what's going on, you need to tell them your symptoms, and you need to let them advise you. They are the experts here. They know what to do in cases like this, so you need to let them deal with this and tell you what you should do, where you should go, and how you should get there in order to flatten this curve, so we can ultimately get back to business as usual, whatever that might be when it comes. If you are still seeing customers, and I know that this for the time I've said the big F word, try to space your clients out. Again, this, a lot of today was prepared last week already. We prepared these presentations well in advance, and looking at today's numbers, you may not be in a situation where you're seeing as many customers or even seeing any clients. So if you are still open, if you are still seeing clients, you need to try and limit the number of clients you're seeing at any given time. It's going to mean less revenue, but it's going to mean that ultimately your clients are going to appreciate the efforts that you're putting in, because they are scared too. When clients go to the shops, when they are walking around, they are nervous. They're worried somebody's going to cough on them. They're worried that they're not sanitizing properly. And if they know and they see on your Instagram story, on your Facebook story, on your social media posts in your salon, when they actually walk in, if they see that you have spaced things out so they are as isolated as possible, it will make a big difference. Every station should have a sanitizer on display and available for all to use. Having it on display is not good enough. You need to enforce this. You need to imagine and you need to role play this. And what a really good example I saw of this was where a salon in Johannesburg had actually put up a social media post. I'm not going to name which one it was. They had role played the customer walking into the salon, and they had filmed it and they had put it onto their social media channel, showing their client base what they're doing in order to help keep everything clean. So one of the staff members pretended to be a client. They walked into the door. They had somebody at the door wiping down the handle, greeting the customer with a face mask, with gloves. I will say that the wearing of gloves you should be careful of, because you're not always able to sanitize them. They should be switched out between every single customer as well if you are wearing latex gloves. And then they went through with the customer to the bathroom, had them wash their hands, made sure that they weren't exhibiting any symptoms, took their temperature. It may seem like an extreme case, but these are extreme times. This isn't a normal flu pandemic that we're dealing with here. This is something exceptionally serious, and it should be taken seriously. And what they did was they role played that, and they put it on their social media channels so that their customers could see what they did when a new customer walked in. And that immediately put everybody to a certain level of ease, where the customer could see, look, this is a salon that obviously cares about their clients. They're doing everything they can while they're allowed to stay open. And again, the argument of whether you should stay open or not isn't unfortunately in my hands. It's in your hands. It's in the hands of the president. And while you're open, if you are still seeing customers, you should do what you can to mitigate that, or to reduce the number of customers that you're seeing, just to try and flatten this curve. Sanitize your equipment before every client and do it in front of them. It may seem silly. Do it in front of your customers. They need to see that they're doing it. I went for a haircut the other day. The moment I sat down, the barber cleaned his hands with a sanitizer in front of me, showing me that they're trying to maintain a level of professionalism, and let me see that they're not doing it behind the scenes, because then for all I know, they're not doing it. So let your customers see you cleaning your salon. At the end of your day, when everything's getting a deep clean, and I'm not talking about the cleaning you should be doing in between every client and throughout the course of the day, but at the end of the day, when you're doing a deep clean, film it, put it on your social media channel, let your customers know that you're doing this. If customers do not come to see you during this time, accept that it's not you, it's the pandemic, and that they will come back. And when they do come back, they're going to know that that you are one of the salons that took a conscious effort to clean, to keep them safe during this time, and to help flatten the curve for everybody's benefit. Continue to communicate daily and show that you're serious about maintaining hygiene and keeping everybody you see safe. So this goes into everything that I've been talking about up until now. This is just dedicated to its own slide. So, I mentioned making your customers aware that you're cleaning, showing them that you are serious about their safety, and just basically communicating this constantly. If you think you're doing it too much, you're not. Do it more than what you think you should be doing. If you're doing it twice a day, do it 3 times a day. If you're not doing it at all, now's a fantastic time to start. If you don't know how to do an Instagram story or a Facebook story, you can either Google it or you can send us a message and we'll tell you how to do it. We'll send you a link on how to do it. We're here to help you as well. We're in this together as much as we're not actually in the salon with you. We're wanting to be here for you to advise on how you can embrace this virtual world that everybody's going, embracing and becoming part of. If you want help to better communicate with your customers, send us a message. We will answer it. We are still working remotely. We're doing a work from home. My office is deadly quiet today. I'm the only one here, and that is deliberate. And I've only come in to do this webinar. So we are working from home, but we're still maintaining the same level of support that we always have because we work in a digital environment. We're able to maintain that level of support and still answer your calls, answer your queries in the same amount of time that we have been. You should stay away from self-proclaimed gurus or experts in getting more clients quickly if you join their program. And this is something that isn't new, but if you go onto any of your social media channels, you will see sponsored posts from people saying how to increase your clients from 6 to 60 in a week or something ridiculous like that. Do not buy into the hype. These are people that are using the pandemic as a way to make money from you. You will waste your money, and I can promise you, I don't care what background they come from, how many salons or spas that they have owned, they do not know your customers like you do. Some of them, and I'm not saying this is all, I'm not at all saying that you shouldn't enlist the help of a spa consultant or someone to help you with your business, but do not buy into the hype of seeing your customers dip, of seeing your appointments dip, and then signing on to a program where you're going to use aggressive marketing techniques to get somebody into your salon. Now is not the time for that. I would argue that it's never the time for that. You should use what you have. You should communicate to your customers, and you should take this thing seriously. Do not waste your money. It's not the time to be throwing money down the drain, especially when there are so many articles out there right now, especially because these people know that you are battling to get appointments in. So they are using this as an opportunity to get money from you and to make themselves richer as a result of the pandemic. It's sickening. You should stay away from it. Use disposable towels. And what this is specifically for, we see so often people put on a face mask, they put on gloves, they sanitize their hands, they sanitize the surface, and then at the end of the appointment, they will take off their gloves, take the credit card from the customer, put it in the card machine, and give the card machine to the person to put in their PIN without ever sanitizing that or wiping it down. You may as well not be wearing anything if that's the case. You should be wiping down every single surface, every single time a customer walks through your door that they physically touch. So if they touch the door handle, that is something that should be sanitized. If they're touching the keypad on the credit card machine, that is something that should be sanitized. It is exceptionally frustrating as a consumer to walk into the door, have them do all of this sanitizing, only to give you a card machine that's been used by 50 people before them, that they now have to touch and type in their keypads and use. So consider that, think about it, think about what you can wipe down and what you can do to help mitigate that. I know that a lot of the card companies are increasing the limits on the tap and go, meaning that a customer can tap their card without having to type in their PIN. Those limits have been increased. Just be on the lookout for anything like that you may miss inadvertently through not thinking of the full customer journey throughout your salon or spa. Ensure that your staff wear face masks and gloves in your salon. This is obviously a no-brainer, and a lot of you already do this as a nature of your work. If you're doing lashes, if you're doing permanent makeup, if you're doing a lot of the if you're on the beauty side, this is a standard attire for you during your treatment. This should be done throughout the course of the day if you are still seeing customers. If you're not accustomed to this, you should start. But again, I stress that if you're wearing gloves, specifically latex gloves, they're not designed to be sanitized and used client of the client. They should be used per client, just as if you were using a particular scalpel for a dentist appointment. You wouldn't want that to just be washed and used again. That needs to be disposable after every single client. Wash your hands after every client. We've been drilled, we've been told this for the last couple of weeks now. You should have been doing it already, but you should continue to do this. And if you can show your customer that you're doing it, even better. Send six staff home, and I needed to actually add something to this because this should apply to clients as well, and yourself. If you are not feeling well, if any of your staff are not feeling well, if your clients are not feeling well, they shouldn't be coming in at all. We've seen a lot of bulk SMSs go out in the last couple of days, and that is promising. I think that will continue for the week to come based on tonight's speech, to let people know that if they're feeling in the slightest way ill, they should stay home or postpone their appointment. And what we see is a lot of salons and spas are adjusting their cancellation policy to cater for this pandemic. They're adjusting it so the clients do not have to pay the penalty fee of 50% of their booking or whatever if they cancel less than 24 hours in advance. It's something that you should consider looking at or waiving completely. You should ideally also send something out to your customers letting them know that if they are wanting to cancel, they can postpone it to a later date, or they can exchange their appointment in exchange for a gift card, which you can do through the SalonBridge console as well, and that doesn't expire. So in addition to that, what we've also been working on, and this is, I'm not here to pitch new products or new releases today, but this is something that we've been working on for a while now, for the last month or two, and that is an integration with the Go Beauty app. And Go Beauty is, if you're not aware with what they do, that they specialize more on the client-facing side, so letting a customer find your salon, find your spa, make an appointment, or purchase a retail product. And we've been working closely with them. We've been looking at the idea of something client-facing, and they've been wanting something back-end facing. So we've worked together to create an integration where online bookings are now able to be done through Go Beauty and appear directly in SalonBridge as well. So it's just another channel that we're opening up in addition to your existing online bookings integration. So if you have online bookings on your own website, or if you're using the bookings page that we provide you, you can now make use of Go Beauty as well, and that will just act as another way to get more bookings. Now, the reason I'm saying this is because Go Beauty also does the retail sales, meaning that you can put up your retail products on Go Beauty and customers can buy that, and they take care of the delivery and all of that. Now, what Go Beauty and us have discussed is a way to help you maintain revenue during this time without accepting appointments. So retail is a great way to do that. If you do sell retail, your customers are still going to have to maintain their same skincare routine. They're still going to have to be buying moisturizer now more than ever because they're washing their hands more. They're still going to want to buy their same shampoos, their same conditioners, but obviously seeing them is slightly more difficult. So one idea here is to use the Go Beauty platform to let customers find you, find a product, purchase it, and have it delivered to them, all done by Go Beauty. And what Go Beauty and SalonBridge have done is we've opened this up for free to you if you are a SalonBridge customer. So if you're a SalonBridge client, if you're not, you can chat to Go Beauty as well. They're opening up that specific part of their platform for free, meaning that you can sign up, pay absolutely nothing, and start selling your retail on their platform. And that's a way to help you keep your revenue going during this difficult time. I'm not saying that it's going to solve, it's not going to be the same as if you had never closed your doors, but it's a great way to get a little bit of extra revenue in during this difficult time without needing to actually see those customers. And what that does, as I've said in previous videos, is revenue helps you to retain customers, because when they purchase a product from you once, they're going to run out of it eventually, and they're going to need to buy it again, which means that when all of this is done and we're back to normal and everybody's healthy, they're going to want to buy that product again, which means that they're going to come into your salon or your spa to buy it, which is a perfect opportunity to upsell to them, to get them into the chair, to provide treatments to them, to provide a service, and turn them into a long-standing customer. So I encourage you to go to the Go Beauty website, sign up with them if you don't already. If you are already a customer of them and you're a SalonBridge customer as well, sign up, chat to them. They'll set you up for free on the retail side. It's a fantastic initiative. It's a great way to get money, and you don't have to actually engage with the customers, helping again to flatten that curve. The other one thing that you can also do is to look at selling your retail directly through SalonBridge using platforms like WhatsApp, Direct Messenger, and then also using a contactless method of accepting payment through the PayFast integration. What that means is that if a customer is wanting to purchase products from you, they can reach out to you from your social media accounts or through Go Beauty. You can invoice them directly from SalonBridge. So if you're on the appointment calendar or you're on the account screen, you can click on this little plus icon over here and you can say new retail sale. You can say that it's for new client Joe. You can specify who's selling it, and you can choose the product, and you can actually create the sale. Once that's done, you're able to invoice them either by saying email client invoice or SMS client invoice, and that gets sent directly to them. If you have the PayFast integration enabled, they're able to actually pay for that directly from their house without ever having to leave their home. The money appears in your account automatically, and you can then have it couriered to them, or you could deliver it to them at a time when you're able to leave the house and drop it off outside their door without ever contacting them, touching them, anything like that. That is another way that we would recommend doing something like that. You can do this from the app as well, so you are able to create retail sales from the app. If you don't have the app, you can download it from the App Store or the Play Store. We'll put an emphasis on the ability to invoice from the app as well over the coming days, so you have that ability. And you're able to hopefully continue to generate some form of revenue throughout this time. What I would encourage you to do is to also embrace the use of technology, social media, Instagram, live stories. Go live with your customers. You spent all this time building up a customer following on your social media accounts. Now is the perfect time to leverage that and to offer additional services, whether that be a webinar like what we're doing here, just at a slightly smaller scale. You can offer training online to your customers. You can have them purchase a gift card for later use directly through SalonBridge as well. And what they can then do is they can sign up for a video where you teach them how to do manicures from home, or how they can do basic beauty treatments, skincare treatments from the comfort of their home. You're going to find more and more people wanting that new content if they're going to lockdown. If your customers are sitting at home and they're not able to go out, they're not able to socialize, they're going to be hungry for new content and new things to do, new things to try at home. So try and spice things up. You guys are the professionals in your field. If your customers come to you for help for how to do a specific type of nail art, you can either start to show them how to do that by opening up your Instagram, going live and recording yourself doing it on yourself or a family member that you're in quarantine with, and just showing your customers, sharing that knowledge on how to do that. Your customers will not leave you because you're showing them how to do it themselves. They're going to appreciate you. They're going to recognize you as a leader in your industry, and they're going to come to you for more and more advice. So do that. Offer them fresh content daily, how to do specific type of nail art, how to do ombre from home. These are all ideas that you can do at any time. If you're wanting to start offering gift card purchases for later appointments, you can do that straight from the SalonBridge console. So if you go to the online booking section, you'll see that there's a link here, which we give you, which is your online bookings link. And this allows you to accept online bookings or purchase gift vouchers or sell gift vouchers. So a customer is able to click on this and they can choose a denomination. They can choose what the occasion is. They can either choose your business logo or they can choose a specific event, and they can go through the process of putting in their information, putting in a message, and buying that gift card. That then allows them to buy that voucher and have it delivered straight to them at home without ever having to collect it, and they can use it at a later date. So it's a great way to encourage your customers to buy the gift card. They can use it for later on. They can give it to their friends as gifts. They can keep it. It doesn't expire for 3 years unless you choose otherwise. So that's one other way that I would encourage you to use the system to basically help keep revenue coming in any way that you can. I'm going to finish off by just saying that I really do encourage you guys to reach out to us if you feel that we can help in any way. We obviously offer this platform to salons and spas. That doesn't mean that we are salon and spa experts. That is what you guys are. But what we are is we are technology experts. We are able to advise you on ways in which to engage with customers where they are only able to access your content through their phones or through the web. We sometimes have ways in which you can engage with customers in a contactless world. We're happy to be here for you to bounce ideas off of us. So feel free to reach out to us either via the live chat or give us a call, and we'll be more than happy to help in any way that we can, and provide some form of idea in which to grow this. I have also, if you look in the link below, in the description, I've included links to the GoBeauty site as well as the NICD's website. I encourage you to go there and have a look at it, read what they have to say about the precautions you should be taking as a business owner. If you are closing, I really hope that this is exceptionally temporary and that we're able to get through this together. The one thing that is absolutely certain is that we will get through this. The only unknown is the time factor, whether it is a day, a week, or a month, or 2 months, or 3 months, or 4 months. We don't really know. The one thing that we know is we will get through this, and when we do get through this, we'll continue to help each other and get through this together. So if you want to reach out, please feel free to do that. In the meantime, stay healthy, self-quarantine, stay out of contact as much as possible. I know it's difficult, but this is serious, guys. That you can get very, very sick and potentially die from this. So do not be a carrier. Stay safe, and let us know if there's anything we can do to be of service. Otherwise, have a fantastic week further and stay healthy.